Hey everybody, we are live for another edition of CSquad Live, and we have Dan Wheeler with us today. But before since we're going live here, we will do the normal pre-ritual race stuff. Which, before we bring Dan on here, well, people spool up. Oh, wow, we got 5 viewers, 10 viewers, 20 viewers. Cool, keep spooling. So, welcome to CSquad Show Live. We're here to cool stuff around racing. And it's sponsored by Weir's Machine, which has cool stuff and trick stuff for race cars, and RHR Brew Coffee. And my quick racing update. Raced Winnipeg Thursday. Won the heat, 9th to 4th in the feature. It was a fun race. Wish we would have had a few cautions go our way. We might have been in a dogfight there. Friday went to River City, drew back row of the heat, finished 3rd, redrew 6th. By the way, one of those heats, there was 3 of the top 5 in national points in the heat I was in, of which we got 1, 2, and 3. And it kind of lined up by how we were in points. Schill won the heat, followed by Austin Hunter, and then followed by me. And I think right now for the points, that Schill's leading, Lance Schill. Austin Hunter's in 3rd because Skeeter did a slide job. There's Dan again. Skeeter did a slide job into 2nd, and then I'm in 5th with the anchor that I got thrown out. And then Dan told me, hey Scott, there's a rock race in Gillette, Wyoming. So 7 hours later, we drove to Gillette, won the heat, started pulling the feature, threw the anchor out, finished 4th, which I'll get into in a second. Went to Casino for the Sandy Benson Memorial Race, and we counted the races I'd been to this year, and it was 24. Wow, we got a lot of people live today. Thanks for joining us, Kyle Shield, Kurt, Lauren Johnson, lots of names I recognize and some I don't. And we went 5th to 3rd in the heat. In the feature, we went 11th to 9th. Even though it felt like I passed 25 cars that night, because I'd pass 3 or 4 or 5, and I'd get put back to where I started, and I'd do it again, and I'd get put, just kind of how the caution shook out. But in either case, I'm going with I passed 25. I started 9th or 11th, passed 25 cars, and finished 9th. That's the story I'm going with. National point thoughts. Lance Schill is leading it, which is really cool actually to have a North Dakotan leading the points race, because the last North Dakotan to win national points was Dustin Strand in the B-Mod. Then you got Skeeter, which in 2nd, Austin Hunter 3rd, Dan Wheeler, who we're interviewing, in 4th, and myself in 5th, Lauren Johnson, old LJ, also known as the Dirt Doctor, in 6th, Brock Grunswald in 7th, Tony Ganold 8th, Calvin Iverson 9th, and Scott Hansen, who was on a mission last night in Casino, and he won in Casino, but he is in 10th. And a couple of tips for my thoughts on national points is, personally, I'm trying to stay in the top 5. Really, really hard, because I'm thinking I'm not going to win it. Just the realist in me. I'm thinking it's going to probably be Lance Schill, which would be cool, or Skeeter Esty. Like, all of the people up there I like, in one way or another, for different reasons. But anyway, noteworthy notes. We're going to get Dan on here. Everybody's spooled up now, and my camera keeps swinging on me. I'm new at this, so expectations low, please. But noteworthy quotes. If elected, I solemnly swear to make the use of Ute tires for the racetrack infield barriers a felony and mandatory prison sentence. That quote was by Joe Duvall. And if you're watching, my phone, my thing that holds my phone is vibrating again. And I don't know why, but it is. So it's causing the whole screen to vibrate. So we're train wrecking, boats taking on water. Anyway, bear with me on the buzzing. Hey, Mackenzie Gertie and Joey Brown, thanks for watching and tuning in. Holy smokes, we're at an all-time high. Okay, tips for learning. Have the right gears in your car if you travel 7 hours to race a track. And I don't know why this thing is. There's Dan again. Okay, we need to get Dan on here. Please stop vibrating smooth, because it's really making it hard to do this. So we're going old school. We're losing the, hey Bill Tim, thanks for joining us. It says to rotate my phone. There I did. We're still going. Hey, can you hold this phone for me? Since it wasn't working. We're gonna hold it this way and we're gonna keep doing the video best you can. So, tips for learning, have the right gears in to drive 7 hours to race. Down one jet size for every 1,000 feet up. So if you go from 1,500 feet here to 4,500 feet in Gillette, you gotta go down in jet sizes so you don't go from pole to third or fourth with a sluggish out of the whole race car. And if your pitmen get tired, make sure you have backup that you can swap on the way to the next track. Noteworthy Stories is the 12th annual John Sykes Memorial Races in Grand Forks, September 6th to 8th, 9,200 to win late models. Midwest Mods will be there all 3 nights with increasing payouts. And of course, we'll get the Wissota 100 coming up the 12th through the 16th at I-94 Speedway. And mad props to Wissota for getting it on Racing Dirt, so you can tune in live if you can't make it to each night. And they're going to have it on MAV TV in the fall. So that's really cool. And we won't be live next week because we're racing Monday night because it is Labor Day. We'll be racing. However, we're going to do a pre-recorded interview with Carson Graham of Wissota that we're going to post up Tuesday night at 7:30 because I'll be at Medora vacationing as well. Skeeter's in second place, by the way. National points are throwing out only 5 shows. He's in that. That's just like badass. Speedway Illustrated. My name is on the same sentence as Merritt Hunter, and if you want to see it, you're going to have to check out Speedway Illustrated. And mad props to my buddy Brock Grunswold. He got a flat tire, went to the back of the feature at I-94 and won from the back. So nobody can say I-94 is not racing. Or Brock Grunswold is legend. One or the other. Because he went from the back, and won it. At I-94, which is where the Wissota's going to be. Okay. One more rant, and then I got to get to Dan because we are 8 minutes in, and we got to get to Dan, is my thoughts on the Wissota A-mods. If you want to grow the class, you should make 525s legal for it because they're a $7,200 motor, and if they're too fast for the current spec or concept, chip them down, easy peasy, and make it easy for other sanctioning bodies to easily race Wissota A-mods if you want to get more car counts. I realize some tracks have more car counts, but oops, we're monkeying with the phone again here, trying to do it easier. But anyway, I'm holding the phone. This is going to be fun. Okay, now, CSquad racing shirts. Thanks everybody for getting them. And if you take a picture of yourself wearing one or a Red Hat Rebel and you post it in the comments, then you'll get a chance to win another shirt. Now, today our guest is fourth, third, I don't know, national points runner, Dan Wheeler. He's not really running for points, but he's been racing for 42 years, although he did take like 15 years off. So, veteran racer, Midwest Wantified race car driver, Dan Wheeler from Savage, Minnesota. He's been winning a bunch this year, traveling all over. Welcome to the show, Dan.
Well, thank you for having me.
Hey, tell us, for the folks that don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Dan Wheeler, and I work for a company called Grain Handler USA. I'm actually run the fab department, the powder coating department, the CNC department, and I'm also the safety officer.
Oh, wow. So you got like 3 hats.
Oh, yeah. I even get a little air-conditioned office to go with it.
Wow. Is that where you build your race cars, too?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Tony Canole was telling me he rolled at Menominee, and you helped him out get his car back together there at your shop?
Yeah, we had to do a little welding, a little straightening, and a little fabbing, but we got them back on the track the next night.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. Racers helping racers. That's always cool to see, isn't it?
Oh?
Yeah, I'm still here. Racers helping other racers. That's always cool to see. You were kind of fixing my car on that Midwest Mod Tour, too. You had my carburetor apart, and we're trying to help me get a little bit faster.
Yeah, I thought about it afterwards, and I think it was more of a jetting issue than anything else.
Yeah. So, what's the favorite track you've been to this year?
You keep breaking up a little bit, but...
Oh, what's your favorite track you've been to this year, Dan?
The favorite track I've probably been to this year would have to be Lucas Oil.
Lucas Oil, wow. Were you racing USRA, or was it like an open B-Mod thing?
Yeah, it was a USRA deal. I mean, I think we were still all rained out up here, and we went down to Humboldt and a couple hours away to go to Lucas Oil, and went over there for a night.
Holy smokes, Dan. I think we got the higher viewer count ever tonight. So would you recommend, if someone can get down there to Lucas, to get down there? B-Mod or not?
I don't know. It's a beautiful facility. I mean, it was kind of a deal where it was a regular show for like 500 to win for B-Mods, and they had 62 of them.
Holy smokes. Wow. Hey, how many tracks have you been to this year?
We were looking at that the other day, and I think we're about 20 so far this year.
Ha, I finally beat you on something. I'm at 24. That's pretty awesome. So from Wisconsin, Missouri, Wyoming,
Kansas, Missouri, Wyoming, Montana, Wisconsin, Minnesota, obviously. I have not raced in North Dakota in probably 10 years.
we need to get you to North Dakota. We really do. I think you'd like it here.
I was actually talking to somebody the other day about the Stampede.
Yep, that's always a good time. Usually gets about 300 cars. It's kind of it's like a festival almost. So, yeah, good time. Now you go get to all these places in a 1996 Ford with an open trailer. I'm guessing, did you build that open trailer or the box on it?
Yeah, we did. We it's kind of funny. We built a trailer and we have a lot of parts and stuff in it. I mean, we could pretty much rebuild the car out of the trailer.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool. And the old 96 Ford makes the Trek, and that's kind of a classic.
Yes, actually, we bought it from Joe Duvall's uncle, and he had it since it was probably a year old or something like that. And it's I never had a diesel before, and I wanted to try one now that I've had one. It's like I like the 13, 14 miles a gallon pulling my trailer around, so it works out pretty good.
Cool. Hey, what's you're a veteran racer. What's 3 tips you would give a new driver?
Yeah, I'm having trouble hearing you again.
What's 3 tips you would give to a new driver?
I think the biggest is seat time, obviously, and I think a lot of the younger drivers these days, they tend to get a little aggressive early in the races, and they really don't need to, and a lot of them tend to, get the car all tore up right away, and that's never good. You can't win if you can't finish. Right.
So finish is step 1.
Yep. And then maintenance. I mean, a lot of races are won in the garage by keeping your equipment in top shape. And we personally spend, on a Sunday, if we don't race, a good 5 hours just cleaning the car and pounding the dents and just, weekly maintenance just so we can keep it running all the time. And realistically, I probably ain't had a DNF in 15 years.
Oh wow, that's a record. They ought to have an award for that. I'd never get it, but
Yes.
What's the biggest obstacle you guys have overcome this year? On or off the track?
I don't know. It every year it's pretty much the same old deal, and just getting ready to race and getting to the races, on the time and manner. I mean, we we tend to like to get to the races really early, and the good thing for me is, and Teresa, is that I can still work hard,
Yeah, that's when you're working full time, and particularly when you're doing all the traveling, that makes for long Sunday nights and Monday mornings. Last night, when did you get home?
Last night we got home. We finally got out of the track at like 12:30, and I think we were here at 5.
Oh wow! So and then you had to report to duty at 6.
Yeah, just in time to take a shower and go to work.
Yeah, and now you're doing this with me. So I appreciate you making the time. I know you're probably a little low on the sleep bandwidth, so I do appreciate you making the time. What's something you've seen at a track that you think more tracks should do?
I didn't hear you again. Sorry.
What's something you've seen at a track this year that you thought was really cool that you thought more drivers should do?
Yeah, you're breaking up. I can't hear a word.
How about now, Dan?
I can hear you now.
What's something at a track that you've seen that you thought was pretty cool that you'd like to see more tracks do this year?
I think it's great when somebody comes around and thanks you for coming if you're the first time there, and so on and so forth, and it's always nice on them real hot days to pull up the scale and they got an ice cold bottle of water for you, and everything. Just the generosity of some owners. I had to take my dad to the races down at Deer Creek, and the Queens and family supplied a golf cart just so I could haul him around, because he's 90 years old and can barely get around, and I was way above and beyond, to help me out with that.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome to see that. So what's your take on live streaming at a racetrack? Is it okay for people to live stream a race, or should they not? Or good thing, bad thing for racing? Any thoughts on that?
Nah, I really don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, I think a lot of people, say they want to go shopping and they want to be able to see what they were going to buy, So I don't think it's that much different for somebody to live stream something and somebody catches it and they watch it on social media or whatever and go, maybe I want to go check that out. That looks pretty cool,
Mm-hmm. Do you have any tips for me as a race car driver? I'm running for national points. I got another month. Any tips for me?
Yeah, well, you got to take care of your equipment. And like Brock said last week, I think, if you run strong at a track, it's probably best to just stay there. A strong finish is better than, a so-so finish on a track that you've never been on. Me, personally, there's not a lot of tracks I haven't been to at least once or twice or whatever, and I kind of, at my age and years of experience, I kind of got how to figure it out pretty quick, so we tend to run pretty well wherever.
Okay. Hey, another question off topic. Have you read my book, Principles of Fortune?
I'm sorry, Scott.
Oh. Have you read my book, Principles of Fortune?
Well, I'm sorry to say, but I've probably never read a book in my whole life, but it's kind of odd because all my children have probably read thousands of them.
Oh, wow.
I really didn't have much of an education growing up where I did, and so reading is not my strong point.
Oh, wow. We got a downpour going on here, so it was like, holy smokes, what's going on? My room clearly isn't insulated for doing this if it has a monsoon above us. But anyway, everybody's still here all right? Rick Hespy, by the way, Dan said that's an awesome answer.
Yeah. I'm on these days too.
Yeah,
he's in search of a t-shirt.
Quick sponsor announcement. Weir's machine makes awesome racing stuff. And do you use any Weir's machine on your hot rod, Dan?
Yeah, I have a lot of bracketry that I do use of Weir's. They do build a lot of great aluminum trickery stuff, you know, and yeah, I do use quite a bit of it.
Cool. Are you, I see our surprise guest has entered the room. Charlie Christ. Are you there, Charlie?
Yeah, I can hear you.
There you are, Charlie. I invited Charlie, for those of you who don't know, Charlie is a rookie street stock driver from Jamestown, North Dakota, and he asked me, why the hell don't I have any rookie street stock drivers on the show? So I thought, what the heck, we'll get you on the show. So, welcome to the CSquad show, Charlie. Can you hear me, Charlie?
Barely.
Barely. I said, welcome to the show. How do you like racing?
It's an addicting, that's for sure.
Yeah. First year in the street stock. How long you been racing?
This is my third year in racing.
Third year. Wow. And you were kind of a stud in the old bomber, weren't you?
Yeah, I got about 9 feature wins out of my 2-year career.
And this year?
What was that?
And this year, how you been doing in the street?
Yeah, no. I know I had 9 feature wins in the bombers, but I've only had 1 heat win.
1 heat win, but hey, it starts with a heat win. Dan, do you got any Charlie's a new street stock driver, 3 years. 3 years. He's a big deal because he's a new racer, and we need to support new racers and help them get faster. So any tips for Charlie? He's racing these 20, 30-year veteran racers in the street stock class. What do we got to do to help Charlie get into victory lane, Dan?
Well, I don't have much experience in street stock, so the probably closest thing I ever raced is sportsman car years ago. And I think I always work on that handling deal because I haven't driven one for a lot of years, but back when I did, the steering on them things was something else to try and hang on to. I actually drove a street stock for a guy, I don't know how many years ago it was, but I got in and it's like, how do the guys keep these things on the track? Because you have to steer them so far. You know, we're used to like 3/4 of the turn lock to lock, and it's like 2.5 to just keep it on the track. But you just gotta stay smooth and keep the car straight, I think, on them, and you'll go far.
You had a good race this last Saturday at your home track, didn't you, Charlie? You drove from the back to 6th. You still there?
You're breaking up again.
Oh, Charlie, you still there?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, you had a good run this last weekend, right?
What's that?
The race. Tell me about your race Saturday.
You said about my race on Saturday?
Yeah, you had a good race Saturday, didn't you?
Yeah, I kind of sucked in my heat race, so I kind of started in the back. So I started 14th, and I drove up to 6th to secure the Rookie of the Year for Jamestown Speedway.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Dan, how many career feature wins do you have, Dan?
Boy, I wouldn't even know where to start. I really haven't keeping track, but there were years way back in the day when I was actually pretty good that I'd win 35, 40 features a year, you know.
Holy smokes. How many feature wins you got this year?
I think we're at 14.
14. That's pretty impressive. and Charlie's got 9. So I'm thinking if he keeps at it, he's probably going to pass both you and I on career wins.
Well, that'd be good for him.
Yeah.
That'd be a great accomplishment.
Hey, since I got you both here, I'm going to do a quick this or that with you. So, what do you like better, Dan and Charlie, slick or hammer down? Dan first, Charlie second.
Oh, I definitely like it slick. I'm too old to get up on the wheel and really hammer around the heavy, hard, muddy, rough stuff. So I tend to stay with enjoy the real slow, slick tracks.
Charlie?
I prefer slick because since I'm kind of a rookie, it's definitely a lot of learning curve, as in throttle control and just actually keeping the car under you and being able to realize you're on top of the track and not in the track when there's moisture there. So I definitely prefer slick.
Cool. How about, do you like a bull ring or a half mile? Big track or little track, Dan?
Either one. I mean, I don't mind the big ones and the real small racetracks at all. The smaller slick tracks tend to be a little more technical than the bigger tracks, but it really don't make any difference to me.
Charlie?
I've only raced a couple half-mile tracks, but the few times I did, I really liked them because just since I'm young, the speed is so much. It's just a rush for a little guy like me.
Oh yeah. How about ditch or high side? Dan?
For me, I'm definitely a ditch digger.
Although I've seen you win on the high side. You won at the high side in Deer Creek, your second win there this year.
Yeah, you broke up again.
But you'll go to the high side. I seen you'd win at Deer Creek on the high side.
Yeah, I can't hear you, but yeah, I run the high side on occasion, but I'm definitely one of them guys that's scared of the wall. There's guys that are pretty fearless that run that high side. That Travis Sauer is a perfect example. I mean, he'll run wide open on the fence, and I just can't do it. My idea of running the high side is about 2 car lengths off the wall.
Yeah, me too. How about you, Charlie?
What's that?
High side or the ditch? Which you like better?
Definitely a ditch. I like hogging the tires down low.
All right. How about, what's your most wanted win, Dan?
Excuse me, I didn't hear you.
Oh, your most wanted win. Most wanted win.
That's a tough one. I've pretty much won, in Westsoda Midwest Mods, all the big events. I've pretty much won every one of them. I definitely would, someday maybe, it's kind of a little late for me, but I've always wanted to run an A mod again, with today's technology and stuff like that, and, win a USM race or something.
Cool. Maybe, yeah, that'd be cool to see you race with the USMTS or the A mods. I think you'd do good. I think you've still got it. How about you, Charlie? What's your most wanted win at this point in your racing career at 17 years of age?
Definitely like a month and a half ago in Wishick when I started 5th and I was in 2nd, passed for the lead, and I cut a tire and then drove from the back up to 4th. So it's kind of frustrating, but I'm still young, so I gotta roll with the punches.
So you want to get that win at Wishick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see what we can do when we go down to the Sauerkraut 500.
Oh yeah, that's coming up too. Sauerkraut 500, Wishick, North Dakota, September, 7th and 8th?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh yeah, look out. Charlie Christ will be down there to do some ass kicking. What when stuff, the show's at a half an hour now, so we need to wrap it up shortly. But I want to ask you one question for both of you. When stuff goes sideways, what do you do to keep positive? Dan?
Pretty much start an argument with Teresa, because that all makes it seem so easy.
How about you, Charlie? What do you do when stuff goes sideways to stay positive?
I just gotta, when I think about who I'm running against and all the guys that they got more wins than I got races in the street stock, I just gotta think to myself, well, we'll get it next time. So just gotta stay calm and collective.
Cool. Anything, Charlie or Dan, that you'd like to see sanctioning bodies do more for race car drivers? Like anything you think, hey, they should be nice if they did this or nice if they did that? Dan?
Well, for us, I mean, I think the rules are in the Midwest mods are fine, the engine packages and stuff like that, but the quick change, I mean, money-wise, if we go on the road, and you probably did the same when you went out of Montana and stuff like that, we brought 8 sets of gears, we had to drag out there just so we had everything covered, and it'd be nice if we could have a quick change, and instead of hauling 600 pounds of gears around, we could haul 100 pounds of gears around, but
right.
For ease of changing gears, and I really do think that the quick change option is way less expensive than a 9-inch. I mean, granted, you can buy a lot of used 9-inch gears right now, but a good set of new 9-inch gears is $550, $600, $700, and you can buy a quick change gear for $70. And as far as the quick change itself getting set up, it's not a huge money difference from a 9-inch to a quick change these days. If you get a fabricated housing and everything. So I definitely say the quick change.
Yeah, I think optional quick change would be nice. How about you, Charlie? Anything that you'd like to see WSOTA do or sanctioning bodies do for a driver like you, your new driver? What could they do to be more helpful to you?
I think that WSOTA should maybe try like a spec header instead of like an exhaust manifold. It's kind of a hassle, with the stock exhaust manifolds and the routing of the exhaust. So I just think maybe a spec header for the street stock class would be beneficial to everybody and anybody.
Cool. Last question before I thank you guys for being on. Anything you'd like to see added to this show, removed from this show? Any tips for me being a new host on how to do this? Besides proper equipment, so I'm not holding my iPhone.
Yeah, that's definitely the issue you have today is you're so broken up when you talk that maybe you need a mic.
Mike, how about you, Charlie?
No, I think it's good. I like the 2-person drivers so we can compare one another and talk with each other,
Yeah, definitely. Pretty cool. Charlie, by the way, has been helping me on my race car, and he went up to me when we won up in AHL, but he's been kind of keeping my car running so I can do cool stuff like this, and I really appreciate it, and it shows me how badly he wants to get better at racing. One of the ways you get better at racing is you ask questions, and you spend some time with people who do it that you can pick up, and Charlie's one of those kids that I've watched, and he's eager to learn and get better, and he thinks about racing a lot, and he wants to race a lot, and it's really cool to see the sport needs more Charlies, and I appreciate, from an older person's perspective, I appreciate the zeal of the youth. So thank you for what you do for our sport, Charlie. And
yeah. really appreciate the how should I say, the teaching you gave me and the opportunity to work with you.
Yeah, mutual. So Dan Wheeler, anyone you want to give some juice to, the people that help you race, real quick before we sign off?
Yeah, sure. My biggest props go out to Grain Handler USA. That's my employer. He helps us out with everything. If I tear my car up on a day and I need to work on it during work hours, he lets it slide on occasion. And DSP Manufacturing, Jay Neal, he takes care of all our suspension parts and our shock program, our spring program, Sputz Racing Engines. They do an awesome job of with that engine program we got. The thing has just run flawlessly for 2 years and just been great. Beham Signs and Designs, Brandon, he just keeps us all lettered up. Not lately, but I gotta call him tomorrow and get some new vinyl and stuff going on in the car. RHR Swag, of course, he helps us out too there. Northeast Towing, Jaeger Machine, Straight Line Concrete Masonry, Speed Shop North, and Modified Madness Weekend Warriors.
Very cool, very cool. Well, good luck with the rest of the racing season. You're going to the East-West Clash?
We're talking seriously about taking the weekend off because we got like 4 huge weekends in a row after that, and I don't know. It's not set in stone yet. We might end up there, but who knows?
Wherever you may roam, may luck be with you and safety.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. Charlie, anyone you would like to thank?
Yeah, I guess I haven't done this yet, so I'd like to thank Aberdeen Area Radiator for keeping our car cool. Zuli Race Engines for powering us around the track, and Hammer Shocks for their shocks program, and then Two Rivers Printing for supplying our race cards to the young fans I have, and then JK Designs for the sweet wrap he provided us with this year. Flatlands Barbecue, just keep us our stomachs full during the long races and blah blah blah, and just M&H for the fuel, I guess. I think that's it.
Awesome. Hey, I got a couple of things to wrap up the show. Hey, Casey's gas stations are really good people, and they really put a lot into racing and to the sport of racing. So the next time you're at Casey's General Store, go in and thank the cashier. Say, thanks for your supporting dirt track racing. And if the clerk says to you, what's dirt track racing? It's your opportunity to share with them what dirt track racing is. And if they know what dirt track racing is, they're probably going to say thanks. But in any case, they're a really good supporter of dirt track racing, so make sure you thank them. And next week, again, we're going to do a pre-recorded episode with Carson Wentz, or not Carson Wentz, Carson Graham, and talk about some really cool stuff with Soto. We'll publish that Tuesday. Next Tuesday at 7:30, since we're going to be racing Monday at 7:30 at the Cheyenne River Speedway, and then we got the week with the Wissota 100, which we're going to do an episode Monday night before the 100 live 7:30. Going to have a kick-ass guest. Trust me, you're going to really like this guest. And then every day of the Wissota 100 at 1 o'clock, we're going to do CSquad live with someone live at the Wissota 100. So if there's anyone you want me to interview at the Wissota 100 live, let me know. Thanks for tuning in. Share this post with your friends. Let's do this and have some fun with racing. I appreciate all the support. And remember that with the CSquad racing shirts, if you want one, there's a link to here where you can get one. And if you take a picture of yourself wearing one or a Red Hat Rebel shirt and post it up during one of the live broadcasts, you'll be entered for a chance to win, not a shirt, a bag of Red-Headed Rebel Brew coffee, which is kick-ass coffee for game changers, rule breakers, rebels, and everything else. Thanks for tuning in. And sorry this went a little long than the half an hour ideal show, but it's been fun. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to keep doing it anyway, and hopefully we'll get better at this. So smile and see you at a track soon.